Hello there, and welcome into this video where we are going to be exploring together some of the themes, the energy that many of us have been navigating and surfing through, moving through this December 2024, and most especially this Christmas time holiday period. My intention with this is to help give you some grounding, a foundation so you can understand your own life better, why you might have had the particular dynamics playing out between you and your family or your loved ones. What is it that they are mirroring to you for you to see in yourself? Now, I'm going to be bringing in some of my team members of the Cosmic Newsroom, which a former teacher had called this, when many of us deeply in tune energy workers, oracles, intuitives, many names for who and what we are, kind of come together and we start to have that same message, and I want to share that with you because I tend to see that when many of us have a similar resonance and story, that this goes much farther than an individual person's experience, and that it's actually that resonance, that reflection of the collective. So I will be bringing in that as well without sharing any particular stories, but I hope to help and support you. And what I'm also going to do new in this video is, after I share the energies, I'm going to be pulling some oracle cards to see what else is coming through, any new guidance, or who knows, maybe just that reiteration, that validation of what many of us are feeling. Now, this video is going to be focused on the energy with a little bit of the astrology in there. I'm going to save the big new moon in Capricorn that's happening on December 30th, and all the astrology that's wow, really taking place in January, for another video. I'm not going to put them together. This would be 2 hours long and none of you would watch it because life is quite busy. So I'm going to separate them, but I will be bringing in some of the astrology in this video to ground and further help you understand why you might have had the experiences that you had. So just kind of a little caveat to know that there is a deeper astrology video that's coming. All right, now if you are new here, my name is Christy Whistler, and if you didn't guess, I am an astrologer. I'm actually an evolutionary astrologer, so studying these deeper cycles and that spiritual journey of the soul is what I am all about. And that's, again, part of the patterns I'll be bringing in this video. I'm also an energy practitioner and an intuitive guide. But more important than all of that is I am the mother of two beautifully unique neurosparkly children, and they have been my greatest teachers, my awakening into myself over every other teaching and learning I have experienced since. Now, if you are needing support, please do reach out. I offer astrology readings, intuitive card readings, as well as if you're really stuck and you need extra support with something in your life, that's when I bring in my energy practitioner work and quantum healing. So you can find out more about that at christywhistler.com. And please like this video. Really helps me to break out of that YouTube algorithm to connect with more people like you. So every time that you like this video, that you share these with your friends, it really does help me to connect to more people. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. There's so much to speak of, so I will do my best to bring it through, and again, not have this be 2 hours long because there is quite a lot. So to really start with, this very much is a period of time of going within, this inner reflection. If you're in the northern hemisphere, this is going to be like a double click because we have just moved through that winter solstice, the darkest night, longest night of the year, of this deep uncovering and sitting with our shadows and being in that womb energy. And then, of course, from here on, we'll be receiving more light and bringing out those gifts that we have, our light, and how we might be of service to others and to the world. So there is very much a going within, and that has actually been this energy I've been in pretty much all through December. Very inner reflective, as well as just the busyness of holiday season. We celebrate Christmas, winter solstice, and then 2 birthdays, Eric's and mine, and I actually happen to be a winter solstice baby, so we go away into nature for a good week. So that's where I've been and why I've been quiet. And yet, I'll go into this a little bit more, but going through that Christmas portal, this 25th, 26th, it became very clear with my beautiful, these souls, these sisters that I'm in connection with, that I did need to come out of my quiet hibernation to share some of this message with you. All right. So I do hope that you have been taking quiet time for yourself. And if you haven't, I highly recommend being in stillness, especially these next couple of weeks. Pulling back from the busyness of our world, the busyness of our mind, and really sitting with ourselves. This deep reflection, it will help you to find your purpose, what it is that your heart is leading you towards, and the right people that you can connect with to see that through, to make that happen. And I'm very much speaking here of the Mars retrograde, which began early December. And Mars is going to be moving back into Cancer very soon. This Mars cycle will not fully be complete until springtime 2025. So I'm taking a moment to kind of just set that stage of, please find that time to really be within yourself, to rediscover what it is that lights you up and that excites you. Mars is still ruling that north node right now in Aries, and it will be switching in January, but wherever Mars is, that's where our souls are wanting us to lead into, to rediscover. So I'll let that astrology be for right now. This is a time where we are really shedding old skins and old stories. This is part of the Mars retrograde North Node Aries energy. It's still there, but there's also more at play. We're still, even though Pluto's now in Aquarius, we're still dusting things off from this Capricorn, this distorted energy, this patriarchy, and that's going to be more highlighted, especially on December 30th and then through that month ahead. So it's one reason I'm having a hard time bringing this all through for you. There's many different weavings and patterns that are taking place. So shed your old stories. And I will go ahead and start to I'll share a little bit of myself. The early December, I attended a Releasing Shadows of the Past ceremony, ritual with Grandmother Lane Sun from the Yaomi and Apache tribe that was put on by Anawa. And I went to this, and she is a force of nature, and her energy just wow, is she this wise woman in her energy, like this grandmother, just very powerful. Well, for me, she ended up bringing out a story which I already had the foundation for. I knew there was a connection in my matrilineal line, but she gave the deep wording of what that was, and it was misogyny, and that I held this within me. And then there was also a relation who was very deeply still holding on to this, and it was like suddenly having this perception, this awareness that I didn't have before. And it opened up. It's like I could finally see the story I had been living my entire life, and a story that I was holding to myself without basically being completely unconscious to it. How I saw myself as a female and being a second-class human. And that was a belief and a story that I didn't even realize I held towards myself. Or again, being mirrored in the family, in society, like the story was mirrored to me. I was calling that to me, again, in order to heal from that, through that. So beautiful that this is very activated in my chart, and it happened, the ceremony, right after the day that Mars went retrograde. And that whole experience came through with this sharpness and this clarity of this story that I didn't even know was there. And it, since that moment in December, became this like non-stop shedding of the stories, or seeing clearly through this new lens, this new prism, even about worthiness, how I valued and saw myself, about money. It became this domino effect of getting that one small piece of that puzzle. So one of the themes that's been coming through in these beautiful souls I'm interacting with is this ability to change the story. But in order to change the story so you don't continue to repeat that pattern, you actually have to see the story. And you have to bear witness to that story. Why that story was even there. You can't just skip over this part and go to changing the script. You have to understand it. And you have to understand why the parts in you had that story to begin with. So that's been what I've been deeply working with and through. It has brought a lot of the healing within myself of my own divine feminine, my own connection to Earth Mother and to the Great Mother. And many of the stories that these women shared as well had to do in their own way of this healing of the feminine. This as the feminine energy, which we all have, whether you are male or female, or however you relate to yourself. We're speaking really about the energy, the energetics of that. The feminine has been in this very repressed state for thousands of years. I mean, that is the patriarchy. This is that distorted energy of Capricorn. The nodes of Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn are all in, the South Node is all in Capricorn. So we have been dealing with this patriarchy, this misogyny energy of where the feminine is second-class human to everything else. Like, this is an energy that is needing this deep healing, this rising up into her power, our feminine energy. And then as we do that, we are then able to hold that masculine energy in that more healed state. The masculine can't heal, cannot come into balance without the feminine. And I'm just being reminded to share as well as one of the energies I've been really working with is the Great Council of the Grandmothers, which Sharon Mackerlane, she brought through like 28 years ago. And this has been just this foundational energy for me as I've been like sorting within me this wisdom, this energy of the grandmothers, and their strength has been coming through as sort of a backbone to that. And I do want to apologize that this video is going at a slower pace. I truly hope that I'm bringing this through and it's making sense. As I said, I'm just working with so many codes and patterns that it is hard to bring it through in a linear way, which is the masculine, where there is no real space for that cyclical, that weaving of the feminine, even speaking slower and quieter. That is the feminine energy that has been so suppressed and repressed for many, many years. Okay, so let me start to bring in a little bit more into present day. And please let me know if you want in the comments, have you been feeling any of this with the feminine energy? This rising up of the feminine energy into her power, and this claiming of who she is, who you are. You know, here I am choosing to make a video that is a slower paced. I'm probably going to lose, I probably lost a whole bunch of people who clicked on it because I'm not getting right to the point. That 30-second soundbite. Instead, I'm honoring my way and my pace, this feminine energy. I'm claiming it. That's just one example. So, all right, so let me go ahead and move into this Christmas energy. And on December 24th, December has been big energies. I mean, let's be honest, this has been nonstop, very, very powerful energies, powerful in the astrology, powerful to receive the energy. There were days where I was just like, all I can do is sit here, because my whole body was going through transformations. Like I could feel the clearing out of my third eye as I moved through this, not quite migraine, but close enough where I couldn't do anything. Like I just had to sit there and meditate, like being forced into this stillness. So it's very heavy energy, very intense. Let me bring in the sun first as well. The sun has been very active, and the sun has been helping to awaken, to increase and grow our consciousness for the collective, for Earth, but also for us as humans. Now, what's really interesting, the sun, super active. We haven't had any X-class flares, which are the strongest. The light codes, the X-ray flash, the frequency, the gamma rays, like the sun, when it has a flare, it just throws all that energy in a particular direction. This is normal. We are in solar maximum. This is going to be the normal for the next 1.5 to 2 years. We'll see what the sun decides to do. Okay, but we're in it. It's a science thing. It's happening. Now, we haven't had any of the mega flares, but we've been having very strong M-class flares. The proton flux, this charging up of Earth's electrical grid, has been happening. But what's interesting is we're not being pummeled by that sun's solar radiation and energy. Those light codes, light energy increases to our consciousness. Because here we are after Christmas time. I'm filming this on December 28th. And we were supposed to have these massive geomagnetic storms that could have triggered like a Carrington level storm. And what that is in the like 1840s, I think 1849, it's called the Carrington event. And we received such a strong, powerful geomagnetic storm from the sun that it fried all of the telegraph lines in North America. For months, it just gone. So we will be receiving at some point this solar flash event. Many other energy workers have been speaking about it. I've been feeling into this intuitively, especially as I've been studying the sun and tuning into the sun's energy. We don't know when. So here we have this opportunity where we could have received such a strong geomagnetic storm that the scientists did the forecasting, did the models, they were sure it was going to hit us. And then it didn't. It missed. And on December 17th, the sun did release a Carrington level solar flare, but it was on the backside. It was not Earth directed. And here we are at the time of my filming this, those sunspots who did that thing, the Carrington whoosh on the other side of the sun, is Earth direct. And while they're flaring, it's not releasing that level of flaring. So there is this deeper protection, I would say. Like we are in this kind of bubble, even with the sun, where we are being upgraded. We are going through some very deep inner transformations. We are not being overwhelmed by them. So, and I know some of you, especially if you're tuning into watching the news, this is coming through, like, you're probably like, are you kidding me? You're probably incredibly overwhelmed right now and potentially in a place of a lot of fear. I know many people are. But just from this higher perspective, like, we are not being given something that we cannot handle. I could feel that coming. So I'm just clearing that energy. Okay, so just know that we were supposed to receive a lot more energy than we did at Christmas time, and we didn't. So while there is this transformation that we're going through, it's still gentle. May not feel gentle, but just know from that higher perspective, coming from, the divine source, it is, we are not getting fried by these energies. They are helping us to evolve and to grow without actually short-circuiting our systems. All right, so let's just tune back into Christmas. So the 24th, I just want to say as well, began the White Dog Wave spell. So 13 days in the Dream Spell calendar. And what does that mean? White Dog has to do with loyalty and family and this unconditional love, this higher love even. And so that's almost more the higher expressions. Some of the lower expressions are, should you be giving this loyalty and this love to family, or is it conditioned love? If you do these things, then we will love you and accept you into the tribe. Okay, so family dynamics right now are up. And I saw this very clearly playing out, and it was beautiful. So I'm going to bring in a little bit I have one side of my family where the feminine is in a very distorted, toxic space. Really just lies, jealousy. It's nasty. It's really, again, toxic is such a great word to describe it. I don't engage with that. And yet I was witnessing it playing out, that it was happening, and being very aware again of the deep wound of the feminine, and even how that feminine energy will attack herself, will project that deep pain onto the other women around her. So that's kind of this dynamic in this family. And then I show up on Christmas Day to a family event, and I'm witnessing this board game energy playing out, and I'm just like, wow. Like in a way, they're not A equals B or anything, but the resonance is similar. And I'm just like, wow, it's the same frequency, the same resonance, this deep wound around love and being authentically loved for who you are. Again, that unconditional love, that unconditional compassion. And I'll add in as well, so on December 25th, it was the blue lunar monkey. And that has to do with the challenge around play. And I literally witnessed this happening over a board game. I was like, wow, no one is having fun. It's all like, like really almost nasty. I mean, not toxic level nasty, but it was just like, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I could just see it playing out in the family, the same pattern. It would just shift to the next person, and then everybody would get on it, and it shift to the next person. It's like, oh my goodness. And so for myself, I'm just really kind of bearing witness and then watching as I would get caught into that energy. And then I'd pull myself back. So I'm really curious to see how, if any of you have a resonance to this Christmas energy of like, wow, we also had the moon in Scorpio. So Scorpio is very intense. That was exactly what I was seeing playing out. But what also has to do with this is like for myself stepping into like toxic family over here, like how can I change that story for myself? You know, not being in the same patterns when it is time to interact again. What can I do to change that story now that I've witnessed this story? This has to do with separations. This is the North Node completing Aries. Separation from very codependent relationships that we might be in, which again, I saw it playing out on all the family that I was around. I was like, whoa, yeah. South Node Libra, this has to do with codependency and completely giving of ourselves to the other person rather than actually caring about our needs and our desires. So there is a need right now to separate from anyone who cannot honor you as you authentically are. To put your needs first. You know, and that doesn't mean be mean to other people, right? But you need to take care of you. And that for me has been an energy of that wounded feminine, of the distortion of that patriarchy where our needs matter less compared to the family or society or whatever that is for you. Just some examples of that energy. Okay. That will get more intense, especially as we get into January. So just be aware that there is a pressure that's building. And even though it will be, the North Node will be moving into Pisces mid-January, that theme isn't changing. We still have Mars retrograde through Cancer, and then Venus is also going to go retrograde as well. So what it is it's like, we might be moving into this new energy, but the old energy isn't completed, and there will continue to be a pressure cooker to help us to see and to grow. Now, what I'd like to do here, let me just see if there is something else that wants to be added. Yeah, I saw this reflection that came through from a family member, and then two of my my deep soul sisters, where it is this need to come into power, our power. It's that very strong masculine energy. Okay, that Aries at that higher octave. This leader, this warrior who is also a protector even of others. Okay, and being able to hold that space, that pillar energy. I hope you can feel that. That has been one of the themes that has really been coming through, and this ability to hold that for ourselves and for other people. This could be holding someone else's feet to the fire. Maybe they're wrapped up in a codependent pattern or dynamic and they're just looping. And maybe for you it's coming in and being that pillar and speaking to them with compassion, with that open heart, but then there's no bullshit. There is that firm energy. Or maybe you're having to do that for yourself, to be that, no, I'm not going to do that same old pattern. I'm going to do the thing that's right and works for me. There can be compromise within that, but it's still that holding strong, firm energy. So I hope that if you've been really struggling to embody this for this past 18 months, that you're going to start to feel it firm up. That's what tends to happen is the moon's nodes shift, is we're learning these lessons for 18 months, but then towards the end of it, that's when there is this culmination and we can really step into and embody that energy. If we've taken that time to learn the lessons, that conscious effort and that mindfulness to go into that energy. Now, the other energy that I would like to bring through actually has to do with the asteroid Lucifer, who has quite a mythology around it. Again, also very distorted and very repressed, where it's like this one thing rather than the whole of what that archetype is. What I want to bring through with that is Lucifer has been squaring the moon's nodes, so we have to have this real conscious energy to integrate it. Now, Lucifer in Cancer can be a lot of the overwhelm of emotions. Big time overwhelm. Now, higher octave Lucifer, if you're really, again, working to embody you, one of the things that Lucifer in Cancer can help with is this learning that you can be and hold that safe emotional space for yourself. You don't need it from other people. Or again, that patriarchy, that authority, that boss. Like, no, I am my own inner boss. I can be that parent to my own inner child. That is some of what this energy is that we've been working through and we've been holding. And the other aspect of Lucifer that I want to bring through, because it's so strong and so much this, I'm witnessing it in them and the beautiful souls I've been interacting with, but it's also very much this collective. You have a choice. That is ultimately so much what the energy of Lucifer is. You have a choice to stay in the unconscious. This temptation, this evil, another way of saying evil is the unconscious. You absolutely have a choice to do that. Or you can choose to write your own story. You don't have to stay in that same pattern and that same cycle. You can leave that behind. You can go and listen to your inner heart, your inner emotions, and follow that. That has been a really big energy. And as I'm kind of tuning in, it's like I actually don't feel like I need to share too much more about that. Like, it feels like it's coming to this choice of this rewriting the story, ripping up the old script and writing a new one. So here we are, we've been doing this deep shedding skins, shedding old stories, witnessing them, and then as we do that, it's really rippling out from ourselves, our inner selves, into the collective. So as you do your own inner work, like as I've shared with mine and my family, that misogyny energy, and then how deep those roots went in me that I had no idea. As I do that work, that is rippling out like a gong, this reverberation out into that collective, giving this opportunity for others to change, others to come into a new resonance and a new harmony. So that is the work that we are engaging with right now. And that opportunity that we have to change that old story, whatever is taking place on that world stage, honestly, in a way, just kind of like let it go. I mean, yes, you can acknowledge it and you can see it, but really the deep work is coming within ourselves. Because the more of us who change these old stories, there's the collective rising up. We are not going to play that old game anymore. It's a very powerful effect that we have. And that is going to be continuing into 2025, which I feel I'm going to leave for another video. I'm going to try and keep this one not super long. So, all right, I'm being guided to pull some cards. So now let's, as I've shared not all, but a lot of this deeper energy work, and the message coming through for you to, again, really take this time to pause. Unplug from the craziness of the world, the busy mind, your busy schedules. Unplug. And take that time to go within and to see these stories in yourself. That's the choice that we have. Again, that Lucifer energy. Are you going to stay unconscious to them? Or are you going to move through them and out the other side to bring in this new change and this new world that we are creating? And those of us who are the way showers, who are the bridges, okay? The true wounded healers, like we are being initiated right now, and this has been all of 2024, deeply initiated into our true selves, but we've had to really freaking go deep. At least I certainly have. Like, wow, okay. Because we are the pioneers, we are the way showers. So for those to come behind, like, we have to do our own work first. We have to be willing to see what is unconscious. So that's going to be that 2025. Those of us who've done this, we're going to start to really build the foundation from there. And then to hold that space, that again, that divine feminine ability to hold that sacred container, to really witness others, the masculine energy, go through that healing. Had to first do it ourselves. And even as I say that, that's linking into the Capricorn new moon, where Chiron is also stationing direct, who is that wounded healer. So, all right, let's pull some cards and see what has to come through. So we're looking for some deeper guidance around the energy themes that have been shared. Okay, I'm pulling first from some astrology cards. Okay. Okay. Got a whole bunch of them. So the first card we have is dignified with strength. And then we've got midheaven, which is this pentacle card. We have Leo, shine. And then we have this 8th house with mystery, transits. It's that climate, and the last one is Uranus, change. So, wow. Interesting, when I had first pulled out this deck, this Star Codes Astro deck, this was the card that was on the bottom, and it caught my eye, and it was the first one to flip. So absolutely, like, there is this change that's taking place, and we are being supported by all the astrology the astrology transits. They're changing things up in a really, really big way. And I'm actually hearing, like, yeah, definitely listen to the next video that I'm going to do about the astrology, because obviously it's important. But what this is all doing is this is helping us to come into this new space, this dignified energy of this strength. Like, I was speaking so much of that being that pillar. And here we have this midheaven with the pinnacle. Like that is what this is, that we are being guided right now and supported to come into this. Now, the midheaven is also, it has to do with society. It has to do with our career in the world, or how society sees us. And there's a couple messages with that one. It has to do with, because the midheaven also associated with Capricorn, which I've been speaking about, there is this change with society and with Capricorn. Actually getting a lot of emotion coming through. It's I'm feeling that feminine energy as she rises, as we rise into our strength, that pillar energy of who we are, almost like that grandmother energy of being sweet and offering you cookies, and yet like, and that's been lost for such a long time, and it's coming back into that dignified strength. And as we do, the world is going to change. How the world sees each of us will be changing. And there is this coming out of the shadows. This is what I'm feeling here. The shadows where many of us, especially if you're female-bodied, that feminine, but it's also that feminine energy. Like, if you are an intuitive, for example, or if you are someone who is very good at listening, or being that caretaker for other people, right? Those are all feminine energies. They're not yang. They're not whoosh, get it done, be productive, like that kind of thing. It feels like there's that energy. She's coming into her own and rising and shining and like claiming that. That feels so beautiful. This how she has been, this 8th house, this being swept under the rug in that lower octave. We're not going to go here. We're not going to look at that. She is rising. I mean, the feminine is the mystery. The womb, the creation is mystery, this liminal space that we are in. So I'm really inviting you to step into your light. Mars, talked about Mars. Mars is also retrograding first through Leo, then we'll come back into Cancer, and we'll have to move back through Leo. So this is about shining your brilliant light. It's about reconnecting to your heart. But you might have to go really, really deep to get there. Like, this might have been buried, might have been hidden, might have been suppressed by family, by, again, even that society energy. You can't do that. You can't be who you are. It is this reconnecting back into our hearts. Yeah, there is this, oh goodness, like so much change. And then look at this card number 55. It's all about change, this abundance, but it's coming through change. Sudden, unexpected shifts can come into our lives very, very quickly. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of energy in there. Whew. Yeah, it's so much about this re-honoring of the mystery, of the darkness even, and the creation that is in there. All right. And then this is from the Guiding Light Oracle. It's one of my favorite ones to work with. All right, so what further guidance for all those who are watching for this time that we're in, end of December 2024, these energies. Okay. Just kidding. Oh, okay. So the first card that came out, energy protection. This card was also on the bottom when I opened the deck. Your belief that you are not safe may be inviting an energy that is throwing you off balance. So again, it has to do with the beliefs that we're holding. And what is the story that we've been telling ourselves? How has that been keeping you in this space of, I'm not safe. I have to be small. I have to be really quiet. I can't go and shine my light. And there's also this message of protection. Like, you are more protected than you think you know. And this next card is blessing in disguise. You are being asked not to prejudge your current set of circumstances. So I'm actually, the first thing that comes into my mind is this current global larger climate. Can you see this as actually a blessing in disguise? Can you surrender to this greater divine plan that is taking place? That even though it might be incredibly dark and mysterious, and this drama and this manipulation that can be playing out, can you also hold deep faith and deep surrender on what is coming through this, that's on the other side of this experience? Again, there is this necessary needing to see the old beliefs in order to come through it and to see that blessing and that transformation that is on the other side of it. Yeah, and it's like that opening, that holding space for what Spirit, the divine, that greater cosmic plan has in store. So I would be curious. I can tune into this and the circumstances that I've shared, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's an energy that I've been moving through this December 2024. But I would love to know if that resonates for you and the story that you have been on, that you have been experiencing. And if this is also helping to provide understanding and guidance for what you might be going through. Now this next card is about being a divine channel. You are a divine channel. You work with your angels and guides to deliver messages that assist others on their spiritual path. So this, again, like I'm feeling that, like this is the intuitive, feminine nature within all of us. And can we come into this acceptance of the power that she is and that we, each of us, are and hold, like this coming out of the shadows. This is time to stop hiding. This is time to accept. Yes, this is who I am. This is who my light and my brightness, this creative expression of myself wants to be. This is who I am. And can you own that? And can you claim that in your life, however it shows up for you? That the divine is coming through you. It's not just ego. if you truly open yourself up, really tuning into that heart space that Mars is taking us through right now, through Leo, right? It's not ego. It is the divine being channeled through you. And the last card is Boon. Heaven is rushing in and showering you with blessings. Open your heart to receive. So, all the stuff that we're going through, everything that you might be going through, please, please, please take that time to go within and to see what are those beliefs, the unconscious, that Lucifer energy that you are holding on to. See them, witness them, make that time for them, because wow, there is something amazing for you on the other side of this, for you, for me, for everyone in the collective. And the other message with this card has to do with, are you blocking yourself from being able to receive? Do you hold any beliefs about your ability to receive? And guess what? That ability to receive is part of the feminine energy, the function of the feminine. To receive. So where in your heart do you need to open yourself up, shed the old beliefs, the old stories, so you can receive, and that you are worthy of receiving? So, I hope this was helpful. I apologize for the length, but that is just what it's going to be. If you find this helpful, please share this video, this message with the friends, the family in your life. If you would like, whether an astrology birth chart reading for yourself or your own intuitive reading, again, please go to my website. I am so grateful for each of you for being here. Please let me know how you're doing and how all this December has unfolded for you, because you are part of the Cosmic Newsroom. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.